Hey, well, it's the start of a new semester. We get to start out the class, as always, with the ritual of reading the syllabus. So I'll be toggling back and forth between a video of myself and an electronic copy of the syllabus. It might be good if you have that out in front of you too while you watch this video, okay? So without further ado, let's toggle over there. So here we are, Sociology 135, Race and Ethnicity. My name is Dr. Chris Morrissey. You can call me doctor, you can call me professor, you can call me prof, you can call me Chris, you can call me Morrissey. Any of those options work, it's fine. I live in South Bend, Indiana. It's an important thing for you to know, even on the online context. So I don't really have an office in Fort Wayne. So if you need to for cell phones, there's my cell phone number there, but please just call that in terms of an academic emergency. I had one of those last semester where someone was trying to take midterm or something and it wasn't loading, and they let me know, and it's actually quite a good use of that. So anyway, just something like that. Otherwise, please email me at this email listed here. Odd thing, I have a University of St. Francis account, which during the week I'm committed to checking once a day. So my response to that will tend to be a little slower than if you email me at this email. Okay, so this is preferred. For some odd reason, I cannot forward emails from the St. Francis account without going over there, and I haven't been over there in quite some time, so I've never done that actually. Please, again, give me 24 hours to respond to any email, and on weekend, give me till Monday. I do have office hours. They're virtual office hours, of course, on Wednesdays from 12 noon till 2 p.m. And that, of course, is in a button on Blackboard on the left. All right, it should be pretty visible to you. Our required materials, Mona Scott's 2012 Think book on race and ethnicity should be available in the bookstore. Get it ASAP because we are launching into it for this week. And any other readings from other sources will be provided for you on the Blackboard site. So good news is a relatively inexpensive college course. All right, our course description here. I don't think I'll read that online, but please pause this for a moment and take a chance to read that to see what the course is about. Do the same with course objectives and outcomes, and sort of what learning outcomes this course is designed to satisfy for the university. Okay, after you've paused and read those, then let's go over some USF administrative details. I really do want you to read these things. I just don't feel that it's very interesting viewing for me to read them on the camera. So in academic integrity, we take that very seriously. In terms of copying, plagiarizing, or otherwise cheating. We have some basic stuff we'll talk about when we get to taking our online tests and quizzes, which basically comes down to non-conferring with other students. All of those tests and quizzes will be open book. You want more information, check that out. Read the details there. If you have any disability or think you may have a disability, it's worth checking out the university's resources on that. Read that paragraph, please. And if you just need some help and support, the university does offer some of that, in which you can check out on the web link here. There's no shame in that, and indeed there's great wisdom in realizing that when you need help, you should get it. So please consider that. Participation and attendance is important here. We don't, of course, have regular attendance, so that I don't really get to take attendance, as it says here. I can check in how often you're accessing videos or any of the material on Blackboard, so just know that I can do that. I don't regularly do that. And then you also need to hit the deadlines laid out in the syllabus, so that if you miss our discussion sessions or you miss a quiz or something, that'll be a failing grade for that. And that's one way in which I reward active participation in this class, in the online class particularly. I don't anticipate any class cancellations, so we'll have a case-by-case basis. We don't have to really worry about snow days or something like that, but we may have to worry about some sort of major power outage, though hopefully not, and we'll take care of that case by case. So here are the Franciscan values, which hopefully inform your experience both in the university generally and our time together here in this course. Course expectations, what you can expect from me. These might be worth just going. So good listening, number one, consistent grading with quick return time, good teaching, opportunities to do well, to help you out for additional help by appointment, or of course we can do appointments here as well, or else during office hours, to be available by cell phone, to treat everyone equally and fairly, and to use the grading rubric function to help with some of your writing assignments, which we'll get into later in the details in this semester. What I can expect from you, unfortunately a slightly longer list: patience with me, active participation, taking your exams or quizzes and doing assignments as described in the syllabus, attendance and participation, to read the syllabus in terms of the schedule each week and know what's supposed to happen. This is our contract. I will do what I can do to abide by the syllabus, and I expect you to do the same. The boxes on the syllabus, even in electronic form, may help you as a check-off thing. So I copied that from an instructor a while back, and it seems like a good idea. Either paper or electronic, you can put a check on the box. Somehow that seems to satisfy people. I like to cross things off, but some people like to check boxes. Whatever works. Please do have academic integrity. Please do read the comments that I provide with grading rubrics so that you can get the feedback that I take the time to put on, and so you can learn from those. And in our online discussions, to always be respectful and civil, and realize that online it can be very easy to be misunderstood, so just be mindful of that, and you do the best you can. In the past it's been gone fine, just to remember that in your postings. All right, so here, course grading elements, the pieces of your grade. So participation in the weekly town hall meeting blogs is 10%, weekly quizzes 15%, short papers cumulatively, the two together at 30% or 15% each, midterm exam at 20%, and a final exam at 25%. Now, we will explain each of these. So participation, because it's an online class, it offers us many advantages, but clear disadvantages of participation. So one way I assess that, or the way I assess your participation, is in the town hall meeting, which is akin to class discussion. All right, so you have a 24-hour period, as it says here, on Wednesdays, from a minute after midnight to a minute before midnight on Wednesday, in which you need to post a blog entry to respond to either questions posed by me or to the responses of your classmates. And before we do that, this week is just going to be introductions and pretty easy, but beginning next week, I'll put up a little bit about my expectations about what blog posting should look like. Okay, so that's participation. Weekly quizzes function as both a comprehension check and as well as a reading check to make sure you're kind of doing the work you're supposed to be. And they can consist of primarily multiple choice, but also true, false, fill in the blank, and short answer questions. Each quiz will be between 8 and 30 questions, and you'll have 20 minutes online to complete it. They are open book, but I certainly expect you, and people do better if they review or study before that time. And the potential high number of questions in the quiz helps encourage your preparation for those quizzes. Short papers, we'll have a couple of those. They should be done with your best college writing and use the concepts and examples we have discussed in class. You don't have to do any additional research. I'll give you details, instructions, and the grading rubrics for these papers as we get ready to engage in them. In your midterm exam, we will be doing a comprehensive midterm exam, which means everything we've done so far. Well, the same type of questions of the weekly quizzes, plus the possibility of additional longer answer questions that I'll give you the week before the exam. We will give you more information on the content and format of the midterm as we approach it. And finally, we'll have a similar final class assessment to final exam. It'll be cumulative, it'll take 2 hours, and you'll have about 100 questions on that. And we'll post more details on that as we approach. And you'll have the whole finals week to choose the 2 hours in which to do it, primarily, I guess, based on your other schedules. Okay? All right, hanging in there. This is the excitement. We're halfway through the syllabus. So here's the grading scale. Look at it at your leisure. This is really important in terms of how you should think about completing your work, at least as I have designed the course. Early in the week, do your readings from the book and from additional readings that are on the syllabus. Earlier in the week, however, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, earlier if your work schedule or something demands it, watch the week's online content. I will have all the online content posted by Sunday 11:59 of the same week, all right? Some will be lighter, some will be heavier, so it just work out to average in the long run. On Wednesdays, as we talked about, that's the town hall meetings, and that you'll need to post on that, and that's your participation grade, as well as a chance to sort of discuss these ideas, so you're not totally doing this in isolation. On Fridays, we take our weekly quizzes, and that again is taking in a 24-hour period from a minute after midnight on Friday to a minute before midnight that night on Friday morning to Friday night. Technically, if you want to argue it, it's 2 minutes less than 24 hours, but okay, you got me. Then we got paper assignments. I tend to just take them up to a minute before midnight on Saturday night of the week they are listed on the course schedule. You can turn them in earlier if you don't want to spend your Saturday working on a paper or something. That is just the deadline, okay? So hopefully you stick to that schedule. Again, there are just 2 paper assignments through the course of the semester. So mostly it's 1 through 4 here, and that's sort of the rhythm and routine of our week. So basically, here's our course schedule. I reserve the right to make changes to this in terms of my stewardship of the class and making the best decisions for the class, all right? So let's just maybe, rather than do the details of every week, we will just do details of the first week and then highlights as we go through the rest of the weeks quickly. So week 1, this week, we read Scott, our textbook, chapter 1. The subject of our class is listed in caps: Introduction to Class, Each Other, and Race and Ethnicity. We're going to read a short reading, 7 pages, showing my color by page. It's on Blackboard. I can do the additional videos that I have listed on online content. And on Wednesday, our town hall meeting will be personal introductions, and Friday, take the weekly quiz. All right, so there's always going to be read, online content, Wednesday, town hall meeting, Friday, take the quiz. Some variation there, but week 2, we'll talk about social inequality, prejudice, and discrimination. Week 3, we'll do dominant ideologies, oppression, and inequalities. Reading, watching, doing, Wednesday, Friday. Week 4, privilege and white supremacy. Week 5, internalized oppression. A number of pretty interesting shorter readings. And we will have our first short paper due on week 5. Week 6, we will do education. Week 7, we'll do media. Week 8, we will do residential segregation and take our midterm before we go off, or we just take time off for a spring vacation. Yay! Then we come back and do economic inequality. We'll do the law in week 10. It'll be a shortened week that week because of Easter and Good Friday being off, so there's no school, no quiz on Friday, but content from this week will be on the next week's quiz. There's Easter. Week 11 we'll do healthcare, usually a relevant subject for our students, many of whom are in the healthcare sciences or preparing to be in those jobs. Week 12 we'll do immigration and citizenship. With a short paper will be due that week. And week 13, social development. Week 14, undoing racism. And then we will be into final exam week. And your final exam, as it said earlier, you get to do any time during that week in a 2-hour block of your choosing. Okay? So if you have any questions that are generally about the syllabus, please do post them to the virtual office. That way your question of perhaps general interest can be viewed by other students. If you have any personal academic questions that you're not sure of, or you're shy or something, send me an email at the top of the syllabus. Okay? So anyway, thanks so much for sticking with the syllabus and sticking with my reading of it. And take care and have a great week.